do I hear? Oh, hang on. After President West is, so we have President West and Vice President Barada for the wider podcast. So I will open the floor to them.
Yeah, so I'll chime in quick. So as some of you may or may not know, members of the cabinet have been doing a podcast in collaboration with Wider, which is our campus radio station. So we this semester would like to open that up to all of you as senators if you're interested in being a part of that podcast. So we have a sign up sheet. I don't think it's been sent out to all of you yet, but we are going to send those over to Speaker Shapiro along with some of the information. But generally, week to week, we have a cabinet member that hosts it. President West and I have decided that we would love to open it up to you all if you're interested in hosting a podcast session. So basically, we do them every single week. It's generally 45 minutes to an hour recording time, generally not more than that. And we have just kind of brief discussions about different topics. So we've done some that are politically focused. We've done some that are focused on Western, things that are like student affairs, things that are academic affairs, kind of anything on the spectrum of what WSA does. I know this week, Vice President Morris is going to be hosting, talking a little bit about building communities and I believe some social media background use and things like that. So that'll be a really exciting one that we're starting to record tomorrow. Yeah, like Vice President Wright just said, they are all available on Spotify if you want to check out what we have been doing and see if it's something that you'd be interested in doing. But we just want to get kind of some new voices on. We think all of you would be a great addition. So I will have Speaker Shapiro send you all the sign-up sheet. When you go on it, it'll have a person listed first. That person will be the host for that week. So if you want to host, you basically put your name and the topic, and then you set kind of your availability during the week, see who else signs up. You look at their availability just going down the line, and the group will decide whatever time is best. Those times are based on our wider program director, Kyle Petronio's schedule. So he always has to be there. But other than that, we keep it pretty open. Just like general rules of it is we obviously don't want to come on and be bashing the university at all. We don't want to be kind of like calling out specific people or people's names and things like that. But certainly issue-based things you're welcome to bring up. So if it's something within your academic college that you want to spotlight, or just something that you've seen that you think needs more attention, we'd love to have you come on and talk about it because Taylor and I are starting to run out of ideas. So we'll send out all the documents. If you're interested in hosting and you have questions about it before you sign up to do that, or you have any questions about it at all, please feel free to reach out to me or to President West. I might be able to respond to you a little quicker since she's super busy, but I can give you kind of the background, share some directions on how you lead podcasts, everything like that. And then for ones that are already on the sign up sheet when you guys get it, you are welcome to sign up for those as long as there's spaces available. We limit it to like 6 to 8 people a time just so it's not too many people on the recording. But if there's an open space, you are welcome to sign up for it. I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, I can answer them really quickly, but otherwise feel free to reach out to me on email or through Slack if you have questions about it. We're really excited to be extending this to all of you.
I don't see or hear any questions, so we will move on to whatever else I have on the agenda because I don't recall off the top of my head. So next thing is commencement forms, everyone. Yay. So if you're a WSA member, you can get like cool colored cords with our like colors and whatnot and graduate with it. And then that kind of puts you a step above everyone else. That's a joke. No one's better than anyone else, but you have the cord. And so everyone will know that you served your school proudly. And so you just go to the form. Here it is, right here. You just fill it out and do all this stuff. And you guys are good. You guys are good. You guys know how to work forms. There's no mystery there. Okay, so next thing is Senator of the Month. Yay! We have a Senator of the Month this month. I'm going to allow Vice President for University Pride. Oh, never mind. We're going to back it up a minute and let Eric Effinger, our Vice President for Finance and Business Relations, talk about the commencement form because I'm moving too fast. So go ahead, Eric. My apologies. I didn't see your thing.
Thank you, Speaker Shapiro. Real quick, congratulations to Senator Taylor. So for the commencement form, this is new this year. Please only fill it out if you are graduating in either spring 2021 or summer of 2021. And make sure to read the full instructions because you may be eligible for more than one commencement accessory depending on your involvement over your tenure at Western and involvement in WSA. So thank you very much for all of your hard work and dedication to WSA. Congrats on commencement, and please fill out the form. Thank you.
Real quick, Eric, that includes, you said summer terms too, right?
Affirmative, yes.
Right, yep.
Okay, cool. So now back to Senator of the Month. So I will let Vice President for University Pride, Alexis Morris, take the reins here.
Fantastic. So as you all see on the agenda today, we have Senator Taylor as the first senator of the month. Since this first time we have two legislative bodies. So I'm going to say, everyone give a little clap to Senator Taylor. And I'll let him talk about his love of WSA and everything. So if he has to say a few words about his win.
Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. I come from one of those Benton Harbor ultra-conservative families that sees a end zone celebration as the moral equivalent of pornography. So I've never been one to handle accolades or even praise very well. So just bear with me. Probably one of the things that you guys don't know is the motivation that I get to work hard to help St. Joseph Barry Shapiro, to help us serve our students, serve the university. I mean, it comes from you guys. When I saw just the passion, the dedication, the hard work that everyone was doing, from everything to writing bills, passing bills, initiatives for the university, I mean, I just said, wow, that's a lot of energy and these guys are doing great things. And I got to measure up to this. And it looks maybe easy for the rest of you, but no, that's no easy task. And failure doesn't bother me in our academic and professional lives and personal lives. We're going to fail a million times. That's how we grow. But letting my team down, that's a fate worse than death for me. And I just, in all of this, wanted to live up to the examples that you guys are setting every day. That energy is contagious, and I only hope I can just continue to live up to what you guys are doing and serving our students. One of my friends asked me how I'm celebrating. I was like, look for more work, and he didn't like that, so brought over some sweets. So I'll have one last cookie, and then it's to the gym to get back on my girlish figure, and then it's back to our legislative session to continue to do the good work that we've been doing. Let's grab 2021 by the throat and do better than we did last term. Go Broncos.
Congratulations again, Senator Taylor. I'll turn it back to you, Speaker Shapiro.
Yes, congratulations, Senator Brian Taylor. You have been one of the best senators I think we've ever had, and I'm glad to have you as our first senator of the month. So it's okay, you can cry. It's all right, I'll allow it. But oh yeah, I've worked with you and I've had a great time doing so. And shoot, I can only wish to be as productive as you are. But that being said, once again, congratulations, and please enjoy this. Okay, now we'll move on. But still amazing. Screen 2, share. So the next thing is the event/forum newsletter form. So for all of us here in the Senate, we have our constitutional duty to perform at some point a forum or host a forum for our students to get feedback and whatnot. Obviously, there are exceptions for those, certain exceptions for our senators at large, who I am working with to find those to figure something out. But for most of us here who represent an academic college and can do this, you are to host an academic forum. So at some point when you hold that forum, before the forum is held, it would be great if you filled out this form right here. The link, of course, is in the agenda. And we can get that promoted on the legacy so that you can get better turnout when your forum comes to pass. So that is all I really have to say there. And also for other events, if you're hosting another event or something else is going on and you give ample time, you fill this out at least a couple weeks prior to the event. We can hopefully get it up on the legacy. So it's not just for Senator forums. It's for any event that you're holding, any event that a group you're with is holding, any event that the WMU is holding that you're a part of. You can just put it on there and we'll get it on the legacy. So that is all I have to say there. Next, we move into approval of the minutes. Too far down. Approval of the minutes. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from last week? Done, of course, by...
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
Second.
Cool. Of course, those minutes were written out by the wonderful House Secretary, Colin Holzberger, who is once again providing us with his services while we today elect ourselves a new secretary. So once again, send thank you over to him because he is doing good work, and he certainly, he's a good noodle, and he's helping us out. So let us move on to the approval of the agenda. Have we approved the agenda? Let's hear it.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Have I a second?
Second.
Awesome. No guest speakers this evening, but we do have unfinished business. Our first unfinished business, and I did not open any of these. That's annoying. Our first unfinished business is the Snowshoe Campus Improvement Bill. So let me go ahead and find it. Don't look at my emails. You can, in full transparency, if anyone wants to see my emails, they can see them. There it is. Okay, here we are. The author of this bill is Vice President Eric Effinger. So if he would like to take the stage to talk about it, he has the floor.
Thank you very much, Speaker Shapiro. So this is something that I have been working on. Did we vote on those last two? Did we vote on approving the minutes and agenda, or was that just motions?
Yeah, well, motion to approve it, then it was consented, right? Like, was that all we have to do?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I just saw Jacoby's message, just wanted to clarify. All right, so this is something that I have been working on with the director of the Student Recreation Center, Miss Amy Seth. Originally, I proposed the idea. For the Western Student Association to purchase cross-country skis that students could use. However, due to the accessibility of it and cost, and not to mention transportation, we agreed that snowshoes would be a better option. We could get more for the same amount of money. It's easier for people to use. And so this bill is to kind of help improve some of the lack of outdoor winter recreation, especially in Michigan during a COVID-19 pandemic. So the overall premise is that WSA would purchase 12 pairs of snowshoes. The SRC would run the distribution of that. We do not have any formalized plan yet, as it would be against SRC policy. So myself and one other WSA representative would be able to work with Ms. Seth on setting up the policy, how rental procedures would go out. And per SRC financial policy, it's required that we make the first year free and set up a plan to repair and replace these. That could be a collaboration in the future, or WSA could be the sole financial backing. But basically, this is to try to ensure that people can remain healthy and exercise during winter and make it as accessible as possible to all. I would be happy to answer any questions that anyone may have.
I'll be starting a speakers list for anyone who has questions. No questions? There we go. Senator Brian Taylor, my man, get up there.
And VP Effinger, just curious, out of ignorance and nothing else, what budget does this come out of?
This would come out of the Campus Improvement Fund.
Thank you.
Senator Doris.
For this particular, purchasing snowshoes, do we know if there has been interest in having activities that involve snowshoes, because I don't want it to be that we purchase these and then they don't get used and are more taking up space than anything else. Has there, I guess, I would encourage doing a poll and seeing, or like through the SOC and or emailing out to students if this is actually something that they'd be interested in before going ahead and purchasing it. Because for me, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, wouldn't do winter activities outside unless it is more like going skiing or snowboarding, if that makes sense, or like
Mhm.
sledding, stuff like that, compared to what the snowshoes would be used for.
So I emailed Miss Seth and she said that they used to offer skis on campus, but unfortunately, due to the extended cost, the amount of equipment, people liked the athletic aspect of it and the winter aspect of it, but did not enjoy the complexity of using it. And it was also very expensive for the SRC because they needed to have different boot sizes for different people to fit into the skis. And so the snowshoes were a more feasible, a usable alternative. That is kind of how she phrased it to me.
Does that answer Senator Doris's question? Is she good? Are you good, Senator Doris?
I think so. I'm actually like looking up what do we use snowshoes for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll move on.
If I can respond to that real quick, the Asylum Lake Nature Preserve would be a wonderful place, as well as around campus. You could even use them just so you can go, hiking or walking even, and just not get snow up your jeans, because we all know that's not fun. But it's a nicer way to experience the winter.
And then is the Asylum near the engineering campus?
Yes, it's about a 10 to 15-minute drive away from, not even that, from main campus. It's on, it's right across
Drake.
the street.
So
Yes, it's on Drake.
will the snowshoes be accessed on the engineering campus or will they be accessed from the SOC?
They will be accessed by the Student Recreation Center. The SRC will maintain them and you can check them out from the SRC.
Okay. Thank you.
Senator Ewing.
Hi. So I think you kind of just answered this question, but the whereas statement where it's talking about RSOs, like out of their comfort zone as part of it being a first year friendly RSO, like these snowshoes would belong to the SRC, right? So what does an RSO have to do with that? I might just be missing that, but
So because WSA is a first year RSO, first year friendly RSO. This is not our first year. Because we're a first year friendly RSO, we're supposed to be able to provide opportunities for students that are coming in and just wanting to try new things. And while we do have our formal meetings, which anyone can attend, those can be a little scarier for a freshman or a first year student. So this would be something that could get our name out there, that the entire campus and WMU community could use, while also still supporting WSA and continuing to build our relationship with the Student Recreation Center and University Recreation Department.
right. So just to clarify, these would be at the SRC for students to basically check out when.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Who's next? Senator Gonzalez.
Senator Ewing asked my question, so got some clarification there. Thank you.
Poole. Vice President Poole. Oh, I see that now.
Thank you. Vice President Effinger, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if you said this, but how long can students check this out for? Like, what is the time limit? Is it just going to be like a day, a couple hours? What is that looking like? If you guys thought of that yet?
So because the SRC requires that anything like this be done in collaboration with the organization that supports it, we cannot start working on policy until myself and one other representative actually sit down and talk with Director Seth. The reasoning behind why I put 12 pairs was divided into 3 different sizes. We have 4 pairs, so you could have 2 pairs of the same size that you could rent out for a shorter duration of time, and 2 pairs that could be given out for a longer duration of time. That was my original intent behind the number of pairs of snowshoes, to ensure that, you know, people that might want to take them for the weekend and bring them back on Monday, that would be fine, versus someone who might just want to go on a couple-hour excursion.
Thank you, I appreciate it. For everyone else on the call, if anyone would love to work on this with Eric, feel free to contact him, which I'm sure he'll appreciate, because this is a very great opportunity. And I would love to see people get involved with this to help them out.
Thank you very much. I echo everything that Vice President Poole just said. Feel free to reach out. I don't bite, I promise.
Vice President Winook asks, how soon will they be made available?
That's another great question, because we have to get this approved by the House before we can actually spend the money. So once we get it approved by the House, hopefully next week, we can order them, have them within a week or 2, and start working on policy during that interim between when we ordered and when we take ownership of them, and hopefully get them out as soon as possible. But I'm looking at maybe another 3 to 4 weeks.
Cool. Are there any more questions? If you do, just type it down below in the thing. I am not seeing any more questions, so we can go into discussion about it. If people want to discuss this bill, you're wild, Bill. Oh, Senator Taylor, you make me laugh too much. Who is so anyone wish to discuss? We'll start another speakers list with that. Okay, then we'll move into voting. So let's get that up. Shane, are you in this call? You can just talk. It says you're raising your hand. Then I'll give everyone 20 more seconds. Sorry, I'm making noises. Okay. Results looks like it was passed in favor, 10-6. Don't know the immediate count of everyone here. That's what we have 16 people here. So yeah, 10-6-0. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna write that down on a napkin. Okay, awesome. So 1 bill down. Next one is, because we're not done. The campus, now this is campus involvement initiative, so ignore me not adding involvement. Oh, could someone promote Shayna real quick, please, and thank you. And then, so campus is
promoted.
Okay, thank you. Did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I was just trying to get someone's attention to promote me.
Okay.
From panelists.
And we shall move on. So the campus involvement initiative that is authored by Vice President Poole, Vice President Theory, and Vice President Eagle. So if one or all of them would like to take the floor and talk about it, you have it.
Yeah, I would like to speak, please. Before I begin, can I also have someone entertain a motion to make 2 friendly amendments at this time, or no?
You may ask that. of them.
All right. Can you scroll to the top, please?
Hang on, I'm gonna move this over to like Google Docs real quick so I can edit.
Go ahead. Take your
I'll
time.
just toss it in here with the agendas. I don't have Word on this computer, so, so I have to go this way. Okay, cool. We're at the top. What would you like?
The first friendly amendment would be to change the position titles where it says of, where for the vice presidents to
Okay.
4, please.
Four.
It should be
So
vice presidents 4.
okay, so we'll need someone to request that or make a motion for it. Some senator.
As a point of order, we should do that during discussion. So we should do the presentation, and then yes, you can petition what your changes are that you would want, but those should be made during discussion.
And we will move all those to discussion. So just go ahead and give us a rundown of this Vice President Poole, and we will get to those changes later.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So this university bill was created by our lovely executive vice president. I'm right, actually, and he's one of my friendly amendments is to add him on here as well for a sponsor. But essentially, if you haven't read it, I encourage you to go and read it, but I won't take a lot of time since I know we have other stuff on our agenda. But essentially, the biggest changes for this is going to be essentially how we keep track of our volunteer hours. So right now, we are using a platform called GivePost. You can find that on the WSA website. If you guys aren't familiar with it, I encourage you to look into that and talk to Vice President Ferry for community involvement. But essentially, that platform is just what we're using for our volunteer hours. So it just changes how we're recording those hours, because in the past, the old document that it have, this is an updated of the same bill, but it's an updated version essentially. It was using them on the WSA website as a form. And as I am the Vice President for Information Technology, at that time, that just wasn't the best thing for us to do. So this is just kind of updating it to make it a lot easier for us, because GivePost will be doing all that tracking system for us. So it just kind of changes how we're tracking it to make it easier on ourselves as well as students as well. Another thing that this is updating in the old document, the duties were given to a position called the CHIRP manager. This position is instead given to the current administration's vice president for community involvement. So I just eliminated all the places that essentially said CHIRP manager, and we just gave it to VP for community involvement, because essentially that's what it was. From my understanding, it was just a position title change. So we just kind of, or I kind of fixed that. Another thing too is, let me just look at my notes. It would also be, this would be new, but it would add a detailed document for creating WSA hours, like a volunteer policy book, because currently we don't have any sort of policy book. So with this university bill, it would ask that WSA create a policy book. That way we can have, all our policies there, what we're looking for our volunteers, what WSA members can do, just so we're being transparent and we're all under the same page when it comes to volunteering and getting involved. In the policy book, I would be working with VP for community involvement, Henry Theory, on that book as well, if this resolution were to get passed. And another thing that this bill does, we do have chords that this bill was introduced with the first time it was passed upon. And I added a clause that says, upon approval of the university, we would have chords based upon X amount of volunteer hours. And that's something that I wanted to make sure that I was put in there upon approval, because it has to be approved by the university first before we can do official chords, obviously, just like the process that Eric had to do to get WSA approval. That's something that I would be working on to do that. So with that, I yield, I guess.
We will open it up for questions. So let us start a speaking list. So anyone have any questions, please put your name in the speaking list.
And like I said, we did have this already. It's just an updated version. for what is going on. And it's the state of, WSA and everything like that. It's just an updated document. So the old document essentially would be null and void, and this would replace it. That way they're just not two different documents that we would have to reference to.
I see and hear no questions. So we're going to move straight into discussion. So with discussion, we will entertain the First Amendment that Vice President Poole had, which was to change this of, and this of, and this of to a 4. So is there anyone who would like to make a motion at this time?
Motion to make the spelling amendment.
Second.
Cool. Do we need consent for that? Does anyone know? Yeah. Okay. Consent. Can I get a consent? Thank you, Mr. Sly.
Consent.
Okay. Cool. They will all be changed to 4. And then what was the next one?
My next friendly amendment, if someone would love to do that, would be to add Executive Vice President Wright. If he is okay with it, I would actually like to add on as a co-author, as he was the first person that started this resolution at the time.
Okay, so I will, as a co-author.
Yes, if he's okay with that, instead of as co-sponsor.
So we'll highlight this, and then we will do. Charles is making me cry. He'll be right. Executive advice. So this is the. So would someone like to make that motion first? That's orange. To do that.
Motion to add Executive Vice President Wright.
Have I? Awesome.
Second.
Awesome. Consent.
Consent.
Awesome. Look at us. Look at us. Production. Here we go. Okay. Anything else we'd like to discuss about? Oh, we have Vice President Effinger. Go ahead.
Thank you. I was just wondering if you would be willing to entertain a motion to change the university bill to 2021-014.
2021-014.
I would be okay with that now that we have an actual number.
Okay. Now we just need someone to motion that, right? Or can I just do it?
You would need to have a vote on that.
Okay. Can someone motion for turning those question marks into
It's the
0,
bill
1, 4?
so you can just change that.
I can just change that? Okay. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. Now, any further discussion while we're at it here? I'm seeing and hearing none. We will move into a vote. Pretty please.
As this does not involve money, can consent be called?
Consent may be called. So would anyone like to consent to this?
Point of order. It would have to do with money for purchasing cords.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Voting. Don't vote yet. Vote now. Okay. 20 seconds on the board for you all. Alrighty, looks like we got 100% in favor. It's a straight 16-0-0. And we will move on to our next bit of agenda. That little, because I'm sharing my screen, it's like a bar and it gets in the way. Anyway, side note. Okay, new bit, committee breakouts, which we can begin starting now. If Vice President Effinger would like to start that process. Can we also get the link for that in the chat too?